uplift the photography community. There's a lot of ways that we do that. This is just one. But the way that you can do that personally is by sharing. And so you click the share button on the bottom right corner of the post on the Facebook post, and you'll be sharing this with others. Or if you know someone in particular who could benefit from the Portrait Profit Show, enter in the at symbol and their name. That will give them, that's called tagging, and that will let them know that this is going on. So share this with others. All right. Today, we are talking about how to get your ideal life. The um, the topic today is a base level topic, because when you know how to get an ideal life, that means you know what your ideal life is. And that's what all your decisions should be based off of, because it's like going from point A to point B. If you know where point B is and you can make a path to get there and you've got a timeline for doing so, then you're very likely to get there. Otherwise, you're just going to wander from good thing to good thing, never reaching a destination because you didn't define it. So I want to once again encourage you guys to enter in hashtag live if you're just now joining us, so that I know you're watching live. And before I move forward, I want to do a couple of shout outs because I'm seeing several of you guys have already done that. So I want to say hi to Stacia and Dave and Miguel and Robin and several Facebook users. So you guys are watching anonymously, or it didn't go through because that does happen sometimes. And several others. Thank you guys for entering that hashtag live. So let me move that. There we go. You guys are wonderful. And so I want to start off today's lesson by saying, hello, amazing portrait photographers. I am so happy and honored to get to share with you today something a little different. It's different because it doesn't directly apply to photography, but it is important as it makes sure that your decisions are taking you in the direction that you want to go. Within the next hour, you will be clear on how to end that feeling of being lost and not knowing what to do next. Your struggles will begin to disappear today. Imagine creating a powerful statement that unlocks the dream of your life. Together, we're going to create your very own ideal life statement today. Now, when you know, and I'm going to put this on the screen so you can see this. There you go. When you know two things, just two things, one, where you're going, and two, the path to get there, you won't feel lost. So if you are feeling lost, or when you are feeling lost, there is a reason. You don't really have a clear understanding of where you're going, at least not in that moment. The difference between feeling confident and struggle is defining your destination and creating a plan to get there. This will unlock a clear and actionable ideal life plan that leads you exactly where you need to go. Say goodbye to the feeling of being lost, because today you're getting on the road to your best life. Ideal life is a concept of the life that you would have if you could just blink your eyes and have exactly what it is that you want within the bounds of physics, ethics, laws. It's a vision of your perfect life, encompassing all the important aspects of life, such as career, relationships, health, spirituality, personal growth, and everything that's important to you. Those are the different categories that I just mentioned. Of course, you're going to have very specific things within those. Creating an ideal life statement and a plan to make it happen helps to clarify your goals, your aspirations, and of course, your priorities. And it makes it clear what steps you need to make in order to get that life that you deserve. So today, we're going to talk about your ideal life. And by the end, you will create your ideal life statement. This simple yet powerful exercise will help you gain clarity and direction by envisioning the life you truly want to live, where feeling lost is only a memory. With this guide, you will be taken step by step through the process of crafting your very own ideal life plan, which includes life goals, a life goals list, a timeline, and ideal life statement that reflects your core values, passions, and aspirations. Get ready to unlock your potential and live your ideal life. The process of creating an ideal life plan takes you through a process of reflection, goal setting, and self-discovery so that you can create a clear picture of what your ideal life would look like. You'll consider many different aspects of your life where you'll define each aspect. I'll touch on those today, but defining all of them is called an ideal life plan or an ideal life blueprint. Or you may refer to a simpler version of it as life goals, which I'm putting on the screen right now. And you can see those different categories that may be important to you. Some of them are important to you. Some of them aren't. Some of you will have things to add to this list. Do a screenshot right now so that you can see those. I won't leave. I'm not going to be leaving it up there long enough for you to write down each one of them. But this is something that you're seeing on the screen right now. Is something that I teach in my Photo Business 101 class, as well as personal coaching sessions. This comprehensive and detailed uh, well, this is comprehensive and it's detailed, and it's where you list your goals and aspirations in various areas of your life, such as career, family, relationships, health, uh, uh, finances, personal growth, spirituality, contributions, hobbies, etc. Your ideal life ideal life plan includes short and long term goals, as well as the steps you need to take in order to achieve them. It could also include personal vision, values, and mission statements, as well as any other information that will help guide you towards your ideal life. Creating an ideal life plan is a powerful tool for personal growth and development. It can help you clarify your goals, prioritize your actions, and stay focused on what truly matters to you so you can reach your destination. Now, sometimes people ask this clarifying question because I mentioned a personal mission statement. So, this is the question that I have received: is an ideal life statement the same thing as a personal mission statement? It's very similar. There's some differences, but while an ideal life statement and a personal mission statement are quite similar, they are not necessarily the same thing, and there are reasons why you would have both. There's also reasons why you wouldn't. Although, there's some that will just have one. So let's talk about what they are so that we can really see the slight differences between the two. An ideal life statement describes the type of life you would like to lead, including your goals, aspirations, and values, generally stated in present tense, as if they had already occurred. It isn't always like that, and you may choose not to do something a little off from that, and that's fine. It typically, and we'll be talking more about that, by the way, it typically focuses on your ideal lifestyle, career, relationships, and other important aspects of your life. Now, a personal mission statement is also written in future present tense. It defines your purpose and direction in life. It usually includes your core values, your passions, your goals, and it serves as a guiding principle for your decisions and actions. So clearly, there's some overlap between the two concepts. An ideal life statement tends to be more focused on the specific details of your desired lifestyle, while a personal mission statement is more focused on your overall purpose and values and your direction in life. So hopefully that gave a little bit of this of differentiation between those two very similar things. Now, let's talk about. By the way, if this is helping you, let me know in the comments. Go over there right now. Tell me, is this helping? Put it's helping in the comments. You can just say yes. You can say thank you. I like all of that stuff. I want to see some interaction. Tell me you're here by letting me know that you're hearing something that you now know what an ideal life statement is or an ideal life plan. We're going to go into a lot more detail on it, by the way. But so far, is this making some sense? Is it helping? So let's talk about creating an ideal life plan with a timeline. Before creating your ideal life plan, though, I want you to spend some time imagining and visualizing what your ideal life looks like. Leave out the excuses that you call reasons. You might want to say that in your mind. So I'll say that one more time. Leave out the excuses that you have been calling reasons. You don't reach your destination by accepting excuses. And you probably will allow reasons, so make sure you give it the right word. It's just an excuse. Some of them are quite valid, though. I'll give you that. But I do want you to leave out things as far as your mental process. I want you to leave out things like, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. No one has ever done that before. It's for other people, not me. Nothing negative, guys. Nothing that has the potential to even hold you back a little bit. Yes, it has to be realistic, but it's an idealistic, realistic. With an open, positive mind, what is it that you want in this life? You may want to create a vision board. Maybe you want to journal about what it is that you think, but take time to reflect on your dreams and desires today. You won't finish this today, but begin by breaking it down into specific categories. Feel free to use that life goal categories that I mentioned just a few minutes ago. That way, you are less overwhelmed and you start off well rounded and don't accidentally forget something that is important to you. There are um, 8 steps that I have come up with. Maybe you have, maybe you find more, maybe you combine some, but there are 8 steps to creating your ideal life plan. And I'm going to describe them in a way where you'd be using pen and paper, the old fashioned way. Yeah. Because I can create a better picture in your mind by doing it that way. But for many of you, you will likely prefer to use to do these steps using project software. So whatever you feel is best for you. All right. So the first step, I want you to brainstorm. And let's see. I'm going to move something here to make it easier for me to see it on my screen. I I think. There we go. I want you to take some time to reflect and visualize what your ideal life looks like and what you want to achieve in the different areas of your life. So there's 2 things I want you to think about while you're brainstorming. I want you to write down the categories that are most important to you. Those were the things I mentioned earlier when I said life goals list. This is going to help you see where you may need to focus more attention. This is going to include things like family, relationships, health, career, finances, personal growth, the spirituality, contributions, hobbies, whatever is important to you, the categories. You might put them on separate sheets of paper when you start off. It's up to you. how you separate them. But they're going to come to you in multiple these things that are within those categories that are important to you are going to come to you in a not a direct obvious alphabetical order. So therefore, when you do have a thought, I want you to have a home to put it in. And this is one of the things that I'm somewhat good at. I, I maybe not always, but I have this philosophy of give everything a home. So therefore, something as simple as keys, I don't go looking for my keys. I've got a home for my keys. They're in one of two places: my pocket or a place on the bar next to the kitchen. So I don't go looking for my keys. I know I've seen people look for keys. I've seen people look. I try to do a really good job of never having to look for these kinds of things because it's a huge time waster and it makes me frustrated if I have to go looking for things like that. So I want to avoid those things. Give everything a home, including your ideas towards your ideal life. And that home is going to be the different categories in which these things fall under. And of course, the whole thing goes somewhere in a work environment where you can see it regularly and make changes to it. Now, the second, I said there were two things within Brainstorm. The second is visualize your ideal life and add your dreams and goals to the appropriate category. Write down as many goals. It's the things that you want to have in your life that you can think of, as many as you can think of. All the things that you want to have present in your life, without worrying about how achievable they are at this point. So, next thing I want you to do, number two, is evaluate and prioritize. This is going to help you focus your time and your energy. And there's two things here as well. I want you to determine your goals that are most important to you by adding a star next to them. Now, you might choose to do that differently. Maybe you want to do it in a different color. Maybe you want to underline it. Maybe you want to circle it. Maybe you want to take a highlighter to it. Well, whatever causes you to see at a glance the things that are the most important. That's the first thing. And then the second is determine which things need to be done soonest. So maybe you put a circle next to them. Maybe you underline them. Maybe you use a different color pen when you're writing it. Whatever it is that causes you to see it at a glance. So the first one was determine which goals are most important. The second one is determine which need to be done the soonest. Now, that's not something you do right off the bat. You write your thoughts and ideas down. And then once you've gotten to a point where, yeah, I think I've got everything I can think of, which you won't be done yet, but at that moment you are temporarily done. That's when you move into that evaluate and prioritize. You read over them. You make sure that it's said in a way that you want. So you determine which goals are most important and which ones you need to do now, as soon as possible. Number three, set SMART goals. Ensure goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. I'm sure you've heard this before. SMART goals. So you do this so that you can track your progress. So instead of saying something like, this would be in this specific category, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, maybe that's one of the ideal life goals you have. Make it more specific. Say, I weigh 185 pounds within 6 months. So, okay, now for me, that would be an ideal weight. For you, it might be a different number. So put your appropriate number in there and the date that you want to have this goal reached by. Number four, break the goal down into the small actionable steps that it's going to take to reach it. And do it in a sequential order so that you know what you're supposed to do next at all times. So, what are the steps you'll have to take? If it's that weight loss goal, what are the steps you're going to need to take? You're going to do a keto diet or you're going to work out. What is it that you're going to do? What are the steps that you need to take? What do you need to do every day in order to make this goal part of your ideal life? Number 5, timeline. All of these steps are important, but man, the timeline is way up there. It's kind of edges out the others, but all of them have to be done. Timeline. Determine when each goal should be accomplished. When do you want this by? Again, ideal life version. You're not saying, well, I don't know that I have enough money for it. Okay, right now you're not worrying about that. We're going to do that. Actually, in the very next step, we're going to be talking about that, but don't do it yet. Determine when each goal should be accomplished and create a timeline to help track that progress. Because you did number 4, where you're doing the actionable steps, this is pretty easy to do. Here is one way to do that right out here in your on your in your wall in your world, where you can see it and use it and be influenced by it every day. I want you to make a separate piece of paper. Now, this could be something that you do on, say, a Post-it note, but make a separate piece of paper for each item. So you have these categories, but within those categories, you have several things that you want to do within those categories that help you reach your ideal life. Put those on a Post-it note. Now, this is not all the steps. These may have several of the steps, but it doesn't necessarily need all the steps. I want your timeline to be uh, detailed as far as your life goals, but not detailed as far as what are the steps you're going to need to take. That's going to go on your own, just notepad. Make a separate piece of paper for each goal, each thing you want to have in your life. By the way, some goals are things that you do. Some things are things that you purchase or experience. So there's a lot of different things that you may want in your life. There's 3 things. That was the first. Second, I want you to put a string on the wall with a push pin holding up both ends. I know, sounds odd. But if you've watched this show several times, you may have come across another show where I talked about just this. That was the second. Put a string on the wall. Have a push pin holding up both sides. By the way, the reason I want you to have a push pin to hold up both sides is so that it's not necessarily always having to be up on the wall. You could release one of them and let it just fall, and maybe one end is behind a doorway. That way it's hidden when you don't want it to be seen. And the third, add in each item in the order that you determine, which is absolutely going to change. You're going to see changes in this so that you don't have to worry about it. I don't want you to worry about the order just yet. I want this to be a rough order, and you're going to be changing. In fact, when you see it all on the timeline, some things will become very obvious that need to change. Whereas if you'd never done that before, you wouldn't have a clue. You'd be clueless. You'd be wandering. So put a string up on the wall. Put each separate piece of paper with each item that you want in the order that you want it to happen in your life. Timeline. Now, that's a physical timeline. I mentioned earlier, there are software programs for just this. And so, if you prefer to do it with software, and I believe that probably many of you will, then use the software. But this is a visual that helps you picture it in your mind. Number 6, I mentioned a moment ago that yes, you have challenges. Now we're going to address those challenges. I want you to identify those potential challenges. Yes, I told you to ignore it before this point, but now it's time to add them in. Consider the obstacles, the challenges that may come up and might get in the way of achieving your goals. So there are some that are obvious. There's some that just when you're thinking about it, it comes up as a potential. I want you to include these. There's 2 things that I want you to think about here. That's the first. The 3 things. The second is brainstorm how you can overcome those challenges, those obstacles. These could be internal obstacles such as self-doubt, fear. They could be external, such as strong opinions of loved ones, money concerns, time constraints. Brainstorm how you might overcome those, whether they're internal or external. And the third of identifying potential challenges, identify strategies for overcoming the challenges. How are we going to take care of the problem when it arises? Number 7, review, update, and adjust. Reviewing your progress regularly and making adjustments as needed because, as you know well, life changes constantly. So adapt the plan as needed. And number 8, I want you to celebrate your progress. Don't wait until you reach your definition of an ideal life to begin celebrating. Be happy now. Like I said at the beginning of the show, when you know 2 things, and I'll put it up on the screen again. Let's see. There we go. When you know 2 things, where you're going and the path to get there, you won't feel lost. Instead, you have the confidence because you have unlocked a clear and actionable ideal life plan that leads you exactly where you want to go. Another thought about the timeline, don't take down the things that you've accomplished. So you've got this physical timeline. If you do it this way, leave the things that you've accomplished so far. Leave them there. Don't take them down when you finish them. Maybe you want to put a big gold star on them or a big check mark. Okay, so do that. I like that. But leave them on that timeline. I want you to be able to see where you are in the process and see how far you've come. At those times when things get overwhelming and self-doubt is setting in, seeing your accomplishments is a fantastic boost. All right. Those were the 8 steps to creating your ideal life plan. By the way, if this is helping you, if you're hearing some things that you think could be beneficial to you, let me know in the comments. Tell me, is this resonating with you? You could just write yes. You could say, "Thank you. I appreciate this. This is good." Whatever you want to say, but I'm encouraging you to say something in the comments right now. Let me know. All right. Let's create right now during the show. Let's create your ideal life statement. An ideal life statement varies greatly from person to person because it's based in individual values, beliefs, and your circumstances. It's a belief filter tool that can help you create a clear vision of what you want to achieve and provide direction and motivation so you can work towards it. Now, I said belief filter. You probably have heard me say that before if you've been watching this show for long. Belief filter is something that I believe we all have. It's why we could look at the same thing and describe it differently and have it feel differently to us. We all have a belief filter that we view life through, and it's based on our experiences, the things we've read, the people we believe in, lots of different places, but we have a belief filter. It's why we view things differently than the next person. It's why your opinion is different. We have a different belief filter that we view the world through. Yeah, it's like putting a filter on your camera. It changes how things are seen. The things are still there, they're just viewed differently. You have one in your life. You just can't see it. But I recommend that you identify it and use it as a tool to help you create a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Your belief filter likely includes, or your ideal life likely includes a life that is fulfilling, purposeful, full of joy, an ideal situation where you can clearly envision and achieve your goals and live according to your values. I'm going to give you 10 examples of a life goal statement just to get your mindset so you know what I'm talking about. The first three are going to be photographers, but I want to do several different types just to get help you see different points of view. Although these examples that I'm about to give you are somewhat specific, they are also generalized. You will need, when you create your own ideal life statement, to be more specific than these examples I'm about to give. Yes, because you're hearing them for the first time, they will sound somewhat specific, but you've got to add in your specific details when you create yours. So here are the here are the 10 examples I want to share with you. The first, an ideal life statement from uh, someone. It doesn't matter who. It isn't me. I travel the world, experience different cultures, and learn new languages while earning all the income I need working as a portrait photographer. There's one. Number two, I am a successful photographer, creating and sharing my work with my target market, while also having the financial security to live comfortably and to support my loved ones. Number three, I have enough money set aside to live a simple, sustainable lifestyle in harmony with nature, spending time with loved ones while pursuing my creative and artistic endeavors in photography. All right, those first three include photography. The next ones, 4 through 10, don't. Let me get a drink of water. Number four, I am a successful employee. Now, if you are an employee, you're going to need to write where or what it is that you do. What it is probably better. Providing for and spending time with my family and giving back to my community. Number five, I am healthy, fit, and I pursue my passion for hiking while also having meaningful relationships with family and friends. Number six, I am a respected spiritual leader in my community. I have the resources available to help others find peace and purpose in their lives. My efforts bring so much joy and fulfillment that others are inspired to serve as well. Number seven, I am a dedicated educator, helping similarly passionate people grow and learn while also having the time and resources to pursue my own passions and interests, including my family at the top of that list. Number eight, I am a successful entrepreneur. Now, you may be specific with what that is, with employees that are paid well and love their jobs. Together, we create innovative products that improve the quality of people's lives. I have the financial means to support my family and give back to my community in a profound way. Number 9 of 10. I am dedicated to enhancing my community and leaving a lasting positive impact. I will ensure that I have the financial means to support these initiatives without imposing any additional burden on the people I intend to assist. Number 10. Again, these are just examples of a life statement. I am a respected scientist performing revolutionary research to tackle some of the world's most significant challenges. Not only do I have ample time for my loved ones and hobbies, I also possess the financial stability to care for my family long after I've passed. All right. When you write your ideal life statement, you will need to add in some specific details that maybe are coming from your ideal life plan. By the way, the statement is not something that you share with everyone. You're not looking for consensus. You're creating a statement of clarity that you are guided by. You may choose not to share this with anyone, your ideal life statement. This may be something that's just for you because the way you write it might make you sound funny, but it helps you. It's for you. Do not think about uh, uh, you're thinking about other people, but you're thinking, "What am I going to do?" What's important to you. So don't be thinking about other people's opinions of this statement. This is yours, 100% unique to you. And when you allow other people to see it, they're going to influence you. Therefore, no longer unique. It's influenced. So you may not share this with anyone. But if you do share it, don't broadcast it. This statement is really only meant for just you. All right. So you've heard some examples to get you thinking. Now let's talk about how to create your own ideal life statement. Now, by the way, if this is helping, would you do me a favor and put that in the comments? Say this helps. I like this. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, you can make multiple comments. There's no rule in the number of comments that you can make. You can make 15, 100. Okay, maybe that's overkill. But you're not limited to just one. And some of you are watching aren't making any comments. Maybe it's because you're driving. There's probably a good reason for it. But if you can, if you're not driving, please leave a comment. Let me know. Tell me this is helping. I like this. Thanks for putting the effort in the effort. It's making sense to me. It's helping me. Whatever you want to say, but make a comment. Hit that like button. Hit that love button. I kind of like that kind of thing. All right. So there are 13 steps and considerations to a personally inspiring ideal life statement. So here are my 13 steps and considerations on how to write a short, clear, specific, and personally inspiring ideal life statement that captures the essence of what you want to achieve and who you want to be in your life in a way that provides a clear direction for your goals and your aspirations. So, number one, values and priorities. What is most important to you? And what values do you believe in? This can include things like family, career, health, adventure, social, and personal growth, the things I mentioned before in the life goals list. I want you to identify your top goals. On step 2 of the 8 steps and considerations to create an ideal life plan, you starred your most important goals. Review those goals, making sure they align with your top values and priorities, and allow them to influence your statement. I'm not saying include them in your statement. You might not, or you may just do it partially, or you may generally do it, but allow them to influence your statement. Number 3, oh, that was number 2. Number 3, be specific. Your ideal life statement is specific and detailed. This means including specific goals, activities, and outcomes that you want. For example, instead of saying, I want to be successful, or I will be successful, or I'm happy, or I will be happy. Instead, you could say, I own a portrait photography business specializing in families, and I clear 100,000 a year. I want you to be real clear and specific, not generalized. Number 4, I want you to use direct language. You're going to be painting a picture of your ideal life in a single statement. So, no vague or no social words that could be interpreted in different ways. By the way, social words are the words that you hear kind of temporarily. An example of one that probably everyone has heard of because it's been around a while is the word dude. Originally, it referred to a man from the city who was inexperienced in country life, who wanted a taste of the lifestyle as a vacation destination, so he could try riding a horse and other rural activities. Hence the name Dude Ranch. Now, probably since the late 80s or 90s, It means something totally different. It not only does not imply male, it in no ways implies equestrian inexperience. Make sure you're not using words with those kinds of multiple meanings or social changes over time. Yeah, some of the words you use will change later, but at this point, use clear, direct language. Now, of course, we want to keep this concise. Number 5, your ideal life statement must get to the point quickly. Use one sentence if possible, but no more than 4 short sentences, and you'll be skipping most of the details. It, of course, includes some, but the majority of the details are in your ideal life plan. This is kind of like a one sentence description of your ideal life plan. Number 6, visualize your ideal life using your goals and values as a guide. Imagine what your ideal life looks like. Yes, you did that when you were creating your ideal life plan. You're doing it again when you're doing the statement. Ideal probably means no money issues, no struggles, no time issues. Everyone is in good health. Everyone is peaceful, happy. So consider different scenarios and visualize yourself living in your ideal life now. And write that down. Number 7, most of the time we need to use present tense for this statement. There are reasons why you might not, though. But write your statement as if you're already living your ideal life. This is going to help you create a sense of immediacy and makes it easier to vividly visualize yourself in your ideal life. Number 8, be positive. Use positive language and focus on what you want to achieve. Not only what you want, not what you want to avoid. It's a good idea to include things to avoid in your preparation for creating your ideal life plan. It's a good idea to maybe make a statement of I don't want this. I want to get away from that, but not for your ideal life statement. For example, instead of saying I don't want to be broke, you could say, I have financial abundance, but you need to have an idea of what financial abundance means to you. It can't be too general. Financial abundance is a general. You want it to be more specific than that. Number 9, make it personal. It is personal. Tailor your ideal life statement to your specific goals and aspirations. This cannot be a statement that could apply to just anyone. Number 10, write out that statement. You're creating a clear and concise statement that captures the essence of your ideal life and provides a direction for your goals and your aspirations. Remember to be specific and inspiring, making sure that your statement is aligned with your values and priorities. Just think about this also, just another note. You'll likely go through a handful of iterations before you get what you really want. And it doesn't mean that even then you're done. But get it done today, this day, right now, today, not tomorrow. Don't put this off. This is not something that is okay to procrastinate on. It's better to have something than nothing, no matter how bad it starts. Number 11 of 13, refine it. Now, you're going to do that just naturally, but it's a step along the process. Get it just the way you want, knowing that you're likely to make adjustments later. Number 12, I want you to print it and display it where you can see it. You may choose to make it pretty. Maybe you've got a favorite photograph in the background, but whether it's simple text or pretty art, put it up in a private place. A place that you're going to be able to read it multiple times a day, and just you. So this isn't something if you work in a big office that you put up on the wall where everybody can see it. No, this is a place where, generally speaking, it's only you that sees it. Maybe your spouse, but generally it's just you that sees this. And then, of course, as always, you're going to be making change. So review and revise. Review it regularly. And if needed, make revisions. It's going to happen. As you grow and evolve, your goals and priorities may change. So keep your statement current. I hope you've been writing some things down and some thoughts. I want you to take some time right now to write down what is important to you. I want you to create your ideal life statement. And if it wasn't something that was private, I would ask you to put it in the comments. So because it's private, I'm not going to ask you to do that. But I would like for you to say that I'm working on it in the comments, or I've got this, or this is good. I'm going to do it. Thanks for this advice. Something in the comments. Share this with me. If you feel like this is valuable, like this is resonating with you, tell me in the comments. That's what the comments are for. It's to let me know that you're here, that I'm not just talking to this little camera sitting right in front of me, that you are here and that you are you're getting some kind of benefit from the time that you're investing here with me today. Make sure that you're writing this ideal life statement, in a way that encompasses what's most important to you, what you value, what your life will look like when it gets to its ideal state, without any concerns of money, time, other people's opinions. That's what I want you to do right now. Right now, as I'm talking, before we get to the end of the show. I want you to have something for yourself. No matter how bad it starts, it doesn't really matter. Write down, or if you're driving, think about what your ideal life is, what it looks like, and then make a statement about it. Once you do that, display it, read it every day, make adjustments as needed. You're going to. Lot. I do. Are you doing it? I just moved over to the comments. Yeah, I agree with that, Stacia. Good. Hey, Rick, glad you're here. Lots and lots of Facebook users. Glad to see that. Sorry, I'm not able to see who you are, though, or I might say your name if I have time. So, if you're watching live, do me a favor of entering in hashtag live. That way I know that you're here watching live. Now, I'm going to share with you some closing thoughts. As you reflect on the powerful tools and strategies that we've been discussing today, I'm hoping that you feel a gleaming of hope, a surge of potential, a fierce spark of inspiration, because you're on a remarkable, absolutely life changing adventure that leads towards your ideal life when you go through these steps. Your ideal life, it's one that resonates with your core beliefs, your values, your ambitions, and your aspirations. With each step that you take towards clarifying your goals, crafting your roadmap to your life plan, and setting your timeline, you are actively designing the life that you truly love. As you move forward with your intention and courage, You'll discover a wealth of opportunities and possibilities that you never even thought possible instead of wandering like most wonderful creatives do throughout their entire career. Now, as you know, the Portrait Profit Show is every single Monday at noon, with one exception. On the second Monday of each month, we move it to 6:30 in the evening because we do something a little different on the second Monday of each month. We bring in a panel. That way you can hear a subject from 3 different points of view. I ask them questions, the same exact questions, so that you can hear their point of view. We bring up a topic, ask a question, several questions on that topic, and each one of them shares their opinion on that topic. Sometimes they are very similar, sometimes they're very different in how they answer, but you get the benefit of seeing it from multiple points of view. So, as uh, as you know, we have the Portrait Profit Show on every single Monday. And so I want to tell you about the shows that are coming. So for next week, let's bring that on the screen. Next week, by the way, we're already into May. Can you believe that? May, a week from today. Next week, I want to help you fall in love with sales. Does the thought of sales make you uncomfortable? It did for me when I started. If it makes you uncomfortable, or if you feel like you can grow in that area, don't miss out on next week's show. I'm going to share with you how to transform your mindset from dreading sales and talking about money to falling in love with sales. I know. If you're not there already, that sounds impossible. But just watch next week's show. You'll understand. You're going to be amazed to discover, once you have watched the show, once you've accepted sales as a positive thing, once you fall in love with it, you'll be amazed to discover the increases in both profits and client satisfaction. Yes, your clients are going to love you even more when you fall in love with sales. Now, in 2 weeks from today, that will be the second Monday of the month. So therefore, it's at 6:30 in the evening. So on May 8th, we have a panel discussion called Enjoying the Sales Part. So this is where 3 people get to discuss what I have just discussed next week. They will be discussing this. So put this on your calendar so you won't miss what 3 people have come to know about the business side, how they're understanding and how their processes have evolved and changed over the time that they have been photographers or whatever kind of work that they do. So, Portrait Profits, friends, we're at the end of another show. And I want to leave you with these thoughts. Embrace the opportunity in every moment to make a difference, leave a lasting impact, and create a legacy that will inspire generations to come. You possess the innate ability to turn your dreams into reality and lead a life that's truly extraordinary. You have this. This exists within you. There's just a handful of steps that you need to make it reality. So let passion, purpose, and unwavering determination guide you towards your ideal life. I sincerely hope that this presentation has both enlightened and motivated you. Don't hesitate to spread the word to those around you who may also benefit from the show. Together, we can make a positive impact. Now, if you feel like you could use a little bit of private time session talking with me about the subjects we've been talking about, the creating an ideal life plan, creating the timeline for it, creating your ideal life statement. If you'd like some personalized private help, obviously that's what I do. And so, of course, I want to encourage you to reach out to me. Now, you can do that by going to sending me an email, jim@landersphotoschool.com. Uh, oh, by the way, I realize I still have that up. Uh, you can do that by sending me a text at 210-663-0558. 210-663-0558. So there's you could go to my website, landersphotoschool.com. But one way, you know what? Let me put up that on something on the screen real quick. Uh, I will be happy to give you a free business assessment consultation. That is a 30-minute. In fact, let me put. Uh, I don't have it already prepared, so I'm going to prepare it real quick. So the 30-minute business assessment consultation uh, is a shortened version of a full one. A full one would be 2 hours, but this is a free half an hour. And so that's at. Let me put that on the screen. Let me type it in first, of course, if I can make it happen. And it's not happening. All right. I wonder why that's not coming up. Of course, things happen when you're on a live show. Huh. All right. Well, just email me at jim@landersphotoschool.com. Let me know that you want a business assessment consultation. Oh, there it obviously just comes up when I'm describing it to you. Uh, uh, let's see. Let me find that real quick, and I'll put that link because this is this link is going to be the easiest way. It takes you straight to my calendar. There it is. Copy that link, and all right. So on your feed, you should be seeing this link right now that's coming up that says business assessment consultation, and it has the link to my calendar so that you can schedule it. Now, this again is a 30-minute private session, and I'm not going to charge anything for it. Now, if you want to do a longer one, and some of you may, of course, I'm going to charge you for that because that's how I make an income. That's how my lights stay on. That's how I'm bringing you the show. Yeah, but I'm going to give you a free 30-minute one. So reach out, let me know. All right. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show, helping you succeed in the world of portrait photography through valuable tips and insights, helping you stay on track towards the success you deserve. Join me every Monday for evolving content as we unravel the mysteries of the business side of photography. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Portrait Profit Show. I look forward to watching you grow. Bye for now.